redemption songs.
When you write that?
All my life.
Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on when you're watching this. My name is Brandon Aries, and welcome to The Sanctuary. Bob Marley, One Love, the biopic about the musical legend Bob Marley, is out now. With that said, let's talk movie. And this week, Bob Marley, One Love. I want to start this off by saying I'm not a super fan of Bob Marley. I know the basics at best. To my opinion, Kingsley Ben-Adir and Lashana Lynch were the two anchors of this film. Both were solid in their own right, and then when they're in scenes together, that magic that we call film, that we call cinema, comes together. You can feel not just the emotion within themselves, but the emotion of the struggle that's around them, that the characters have to deal with and go through, not just by themselves individually, but together. With the talk about the performance out of the way, I wanted to talk about the real footage of Bob Marley, because this is where I feel like it kind of gives a detriment to Kingsley's performance. I think showing the real footage is cool and interesting to show just the transition from real life to film. To me, it also kind of makes you want to critique or think about how Kingsley is a British actor playing a Jamaican, so the Jamaican won't always be fluent. So at the same time, this is the part where you have to separate reality from film. He's an actor playing a dude. We're not going to bring up Tropic Thunder. But in Kingsley's interviews, you can tell he's very adamant about being as accurate and as foretelling and as true to the story as he can be for Bob. The cinematography shows the beauty of Jamaica and the love that everybody has, the I in Einity. What it also does is that it tries its best to show the light at the end of the tunnel through the darkness that they're going through right now and the violence. The people of Jamaica saw a divide in their nation, and they needed someone to unite them once again. And that's where Bob comes in. And that's the story that we go on, trying to send the message of love and unity. Now that the pros are kind of out of the way, it's time to dive into the negatives. This film has kind of a disorganized structure when it comes to the overall building of the story. This film goes back and forth between the 70s and a little earlier in Bob's life as he's trying to learn who he is. Sometimes the cutbacks don't really make sense or add to the present of the story. There's also a lot of narratives and subplots that are created and dropped just like that. And then you're left with this questioning, like, when are they gonna come back to that? Which leads me to my next point. I feel like I'm asking for more in this film. So simultaneously, Bob Marley did not have a very long life, especially in the time where he was a musician and learning to give peace and love to his people. And again, I'm not a Bob Marley super fan. I don't know all the ins and outs of this man. This film helped me see a lot more about him, helped me learn more, which makes me want to learn more. And I feel like, in a way, the film kind of succeeded because they give you just enough to want more information. Could they have put more information in the film? Yes. Is it really necessary? Maybe some for the story. There are also some passings of time that didn't really feel like any time had really passed. There was a scene transition that signified 3 months later, but it really just felt like an hour later. Of all the biopics that we've gotten, whether it's Bohemian Rhapsody or Rocket Man or Michael coming up, this feels like the most culturally grounded biopic we've ever gotten. There was a decent utilization of the songs in this movie. Definitely got me in the mood to want to listen to more of him, to want to understand that time period. Although this movie is called One Love, I felt myself at times missing emotional investment. You don't have enough time to really feel that shock factor, like he doesn't have a lot of time. Is he gonna get that message out? Is he gonna still keep to his cause and keep going, providing conscious music with a message? Because nowadays, is there really a sort of message or a movement like Bob did back in the 70s? Is that really around now? No. I think the last thing I'll say about this film is that the film focuses more on the music versus the man. Bob Marley is the man that made the music with his Wailing Wailers. You bought your ticket hoping to see Bob Marley. This is a story about Bob and his life and the music. and the music, meaning an addition, though it feels like sometimes Bob is overshadowed by his own music. So at times it leaves you feeling hollow, just like Bob in the film. We want to be emotionally invested with the man before the music. The music gives us more appreciation of the man, but the story is what emotionally invests us first. I actually do enjoy this movie. I think it's straight down the middle. It's not terrible. It's not the best movie in the world, but it still sends a message. And that's what Bob's intention was, right? With the benefit of the doubt, I'm giving Bob Marley One Love a 3 out of 5. The story could have been organized a little better. The characters needed more emotional investment a little earlier in the story. Though if you like these musical biopics, you're gonna like this one. That's all I got to say for Bob Marley One Love. Let me know if you saw it or if you're going to see it. Put it down in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to drop a like. It's always so much appreciated here in the sanctuary. And if you're new, hit that subscribe button. And next to that is a notification bell for every week this lover boy pops up in your feed. And in case we don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Peace.